My name is Matthew Fiedorowicz from Abbeys Auctions, and we're proud to be presenting this fine art auction. The auction date will be Saturday, the 26th of November, starting at 10 a.m. Some of the highlights of the auction include this fantastic David Boyd painting, The King Has Fallen, being the title. It's very, very large for David Boyd and very typical of his style. So previously in the collection of a prominent federal minister, it's going to be offered as lot number 42 in the sale, and we'll be taking bids from 45,000. So we're proud to present this original Howard Arkley painting. Now this one titled Yellow House, he did in 1997. We're offering this at an estimate of 45 to 55,000. Now, to put that into perspective, Arkley's works have sold for over $1 million on multiple occasions. So, being one of Australia's most recognised and even the world's most recognised contemporary artists, what a wonderful opportunity to secure an original Arkley. Another highlight of the fine art auction is this Namatjira watercolour painting on a woomera. Typical of Namatjira's paintings on woomeras, there's an image on the back that you can see which is of a painted emu, and you can see that it's also signed as a Aboriginal handicraft of Hermannsburg. Now this piece, a gent dropped it off a few months ago, and his father had collected it himself in the 1960s, and had just been sitting in the garage for that whole period of time, and now it's the first time that it's been offered at auction. An original Charles Blackman charcoal on paper. Now this piece here is from his famous series of portraits of classical composers, being Brahms. So an interesting picture which is full of character. We're offering a wonderful collection of more affordable artworks, particularly some of the limited edition prints by very well-known artists. Now, two highlights of these are the Salvador Dali. So two of these are Salvador's prints, or Dali's prints, including the Geopoliticus Child. You can see it's the surrealist image of the man breaking through an eggshell. And the other one, which is more typical, very typical of his style as well, is the elephant, which is a famous image by Dali, and that one does come with good provenance and a certificate there. Some of the other prints that are offered, more contemporary prints, are by Australian artists such as Gareth Sanson, who's one of the more well-known and more collected living contemporary artists in the Australian art scene. So this is a really interesting image. You can see that it's called Nose Art, and obviously there's a bit of humour in it too. It's been a pleasure to have this wonderful collection of contemporary Indigenous artworks in the building. A highlight for mine is the Minni Pearl, a beautiful and colourful artwork that's typical of her style. Another highlight of our traditional watercolours is this painting by William Young titled Home with a Load, painted in 1929, so of a more traditional style and a fine example of an Australian watercolour. For our animal lovers out there, there are some interesting artworks here, particularly for dog lovers. We've got this beautiful set of 3 Couldery watercolours. So these 3 dog portraits, and Couldery, British artist, is renowned as one of the leading artists, if not the leading portrait artists for our pooches. The highlight of our Pro Hart collection is Bass and his party come across the maroon convicts. So you can see this is an oil painting which was included in Pro Hart's book on Tasmanian history. So it is illustrated, this very painting is illustrated within that book. In addition to this one, we've got some paintings more typical of the Pro there. We have the crane birds, both in the creek and the swamp, and a more interesting and unusual, and some people have even said he's looking a bit creepy there in the trees, the Axeman. So what an interesting painting by him. You can see there's a lot of detail in the trees in particular in that one. And then moving up here we have the other Pro Hart, the Minni landscape, which is a really nice example of the way he uses those gold colours and the contrast between the golds and the blues.